is going on, you guys? It's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you the most in-depth action figure reviews here on YouTube. And today we have something very special. What a year it's been in wrestling action figure collecting for 2023. So I figured with the year coming to an end, it would be an appropriate time to give my list, my opinion of the top 10 wrestling action figures of the year. You see a whole bunch of figures in front of me. These are the honorable mentions, so spoiler alert, these are not the figures I picked. And I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me, and that's the fun part, right? Everybody's list is going to be different based on their preference, what they collect, what they like for action figures. So we're going to go through the honorable mention list, but I just wanted to point out, I mainly collect, as far as wrestling figures go, Jazzwares and Mattel. So you're not going to see any of these smaller companies. Not my niche, not my thing. I'm not a big retro fan, so I don't really collect a lot of these independent companies like Zombie or Hassel Toys, kind of retro figures. Elites and Unrivaled figures, Ultimates, all that good stuff will be on this list. So they are all fair game. We're not breaking up by, just AW figures. We're not breaking up just by Elites and all that. We're throwing all the wrestling action figures here into one video and giving you my top 10 list. But let's pick up this camera here. We're going to go through all the honorable mentions. And like I said, this was very hard to decide. So feel free to disagree. Drop, some notes down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. So honorable mentions. Going through them, we have the Supreme Kenny Omega here on the left. Great figure. It was really tough to leave him off. We have the Elite Gunther, one of my favorites. And not to say any of these were bad. It was just like I felt like I had to give some of these a shout out. You have the Basic. Look at this. A Basic making the top list for 2023. One of the best figures we've gotten this year from Mattel. This Legends Paul Heyman, right? I feel like this one went pretty quick at retail. Not a lot of people were able to grab it. And some people missed out. The Defining Moments, Mankind. Another Basic. The Basic 142 Hulk Hogan. In the back, we have the Legends 18 Hulk Hogan. Not to mention, next to him, we have one of my favorite ringside collectibles exclusive, especially with the FTW belt. We have the Hook figure. We have the Elite Rick Steiner, the Blood and Guts CM Punk. This was a tough one to leave out here. We're going to zoom in. Yes, the Ultimate Edition 17 Seth Rollins. I fought very hard to keep him on and off that list. He just missed it. He probably would have been number 11 on my list. I know a lot of people, I would probably rank him a little higher, but just kind of where I went. You have the Survivor Series Elite King, Elite 105 Dominic Mysterio. We have the Then Now Forever 4-pack Hulk Hogan with the green belt. Just so many great figures. The Build-A-Figure Virgil, I feel like that figure is perfect. It just was hard to leave off. I threw the Ultimate Cody Rhodes on this list. I know some people would highly disagree and say that the tights were very inaccurate and they would not include it. But for me, I love that figure. I had bought multiples of it. I'm excited for the one that's rumored to come out in Ultimate Series 21. But one of my favorites from the year. And, of course, highly anticipated since his return. We have the Ringside Collectibles Usos. Yes, they didn't make the list either. Great figures. And, like I said, it's not that they're bad. Just wanted to give these a shout-out, and they're just due. And the last figure I have is the Elite 103 Stardust. So take a look at all these figures. They are some of the honorable mentions. And it's crazy to think that these are not in the top 10 list because they are all solid figures. But let's get to it. Let's get to the countdown. At number 10, our figure list is... Starting us off at number 10, one of the most anticipated elites for myself was the Ruthless Aggression Elite Eric Bischoff. Mattel has been making WWE figures for 10 plus years, and this is the first time in the line that we are seeing Eazy-E. I absolutely love the execution of the jacket with a nice shine to it. I even like the fact that Mattel painted the armpit area underneath here black, so the white shirt doesn't show through on the side. And if you do have an extra NWO shirt, you can kind of plus them up and throw that on there, throw a Too Sweet head on there, and that can definitely be a fill-in for your NWO collection while we're waiting for that Ultimate Edition. At number 9, we do have the Defining Moments Ringside Collectibles exclusive Cody Rhodes with the torn pec from his match at Hell in a Cell versus Seth Rollins. Absolutely love the gear on this figure. Love what this figure is all about as far as such a historic moment, if you ask me. One of the biggest moments in wrestling history where Cody Rhodes competed with that torn pec. And it is immortalized here in action figure form. And without a doubt, one of the best figures released this year. Coming in at number 8, I feel like this is a figure that a lot of people have forgotten about. We have the Ultimate Edition Series 16 AJ Styles. One of my favorite figure releases of the year. Just such a fun figure. You can have him in so many different poses, whether it's him doing his entrance, him putting his hands together with the gloves. He does come with the nice soft goods shirt, as well as the plastic vest with the soft goods hood. Not to mention, he does come with all these interchangeable heads where you can have him doing this phenomenal forearm pose in the air with that hair flying to the side. And the blue and white attire on this figure just pops so nicely on your display shelf. Absolutely one of my favorites from Mattel. Coming in at lucky number 7, we have the whole effing show, the Ruthless Aggression Ultimate Edition, Rob Van Dam. Yes, I'm doing the thumb pose off camera here. Once Rob Van Dam re-signed with WWE, and we knew we were going to get more Mattel figures, we got that tiger striped Elite figure. It was a formality that the ECW One Night Stand attire was going to be released somewhere in the Mattel line. I feel like all of us wanted this in Ultimate Edition form. This is without a doubt his most iconic moment in his career, and Mattel delivered without a doubt with this figure. The attire looks great. You got 3 interchangeable heads. You even have the interchangeable ponytail, so if you want to hit him that 5-star frog splash, you have the ponytail going up in the air, or you can, articulate it. So a lot of love and care went into this RVD, not to mention you get the WWE Championship belt, which he did win against John Cena. So definitely one of the most anticipated and best release figures this year. Coming in at number 6, we have the Mattel Creations exclusive Coliseum Collection Ultimate Edition Rody Piper. One of the most anticipated figures of the year for a lot of us collectors. The Coliseum Collection has just been blowing it out of the water. Such great figures being released with such great detailing, great packaging. But this figure is phenomenal. You get 3 interchangeable heads. You can go with a screaming scan. You can go with kind of the smiling scan or that iconic smirk. Just love the whole layout of this figure. I feel like the torso being used on this figure looks great for Piper versus that skinny Daniel Bryan torso we've been getting on all his elites. You can see he does come with the Hot Rod shirt as well as the kilt, the nice sculpted belt buckle here. You can kind of plus him up and throw him in his Panther shirt. That's what I did to kind of customize it, just have some differentiation. Absolutely love everything this figure has to offer, and I cannot wait for the next Ultimate Edition Monday Night Wars Rody Piper from WCW. Inching ever so slightly closer to the number 1 figure release from 2023, we are at number 5, and that is the bad guy himself, the Ultimate Edition Series 16 Racer Ramon. This figure was so sweet that we got 2 different versions. We had the standard version in the black and gold here on the left, as well as the chase version here in the purple on the right. This figure was everything you'd want for your Razor Ramon action figure. You get 3 interchangeable heads. You got the vest, you got the gold chain, you got the Intercontinental Championship belt, all the interchangeable hands for him to hit the bad guy strut, to do the finger pose, to do the fist out, to hit someone with a razor's edge. Just so many great features. This figure just makes so much fun posing it for figure photography or different display options for your shelf. Cannot wait for the Ringside Collectibles exclusive NWO Scott Hall figure to be released, but these figures are without a doubt some of the best from Mattel. Coming in at number 4, we have Big Papa Pump's debut figure here with Mattel. We have the Elite 105 Scott Steiner. And while this may not have been everyone's desired choice to get as their first Scott Steiner figure from Mattel, without a doubt, they knocked it out of the park. The red tights on this figure pop so nicely. Mattel went ahead and sculpted a brand new unique torso to give him that fuller, more jacked look. And let's not forget the brand new sculpted arms to give him Freakzilla here. Those crazy peaks with those big biceps. Not to mention you get a set of black sunglasses and the chainmail to really complete the look. And this head scan just turned out phenomenal. Such a great likeness to Scott Steiner, as how the sculpting on the hair comes down. I love the beard and the facial expression. To me, this looks exactly like a miniature version of Scott Steiner in your hands. Coming in at number 3, we have the Elite 106 Paul Bearer. We have the chase version in the blue here on the left, and we have the standard version in the black here on the right. This, without a doubt, is the best pallbearer figure made by any toy company ever. Mattel really hit it out of the park and stepped up their game. They went with the bigger size torso. He comes with two different sets of urns. You get the standard smaller urn here in their hands, as well as that gigantic urn with that gimmick where the light came out of it. The head sculpts are phenomenal. It's such a great likeness, and you get two different versions, so you get more of the later run when he was the manager of Kane. You can see they are pretty much two different figures in their eras and the look, as well as the traditional standard version here in the black. You can see the black circles around his eyes. The expression captures pallbearer to a T. Not to mention the interchangeable hands that you get with him really plus it up and allow you to have him displayed in some crazy iconic poses. Absolutely love everything about this figure, and this is a must-have for your collection. Coming here again at number 3. Coming in at the number 2 figure of 2023, we have the Jazzers AEW Supreme CM Punk. Say what you want about Punk's AEW run. At least we were fortunate enough to get this beautiful figure. And, Jazzers has been pretty hit or miss. Sometimes their quality is not the best, but when they nail it, they nail it. And this figure just turned out so great. It is so much fun. You get 4 interchangeable heads. You get a whole bunch of interchangeable hands. You could have him doing the X pose. You could have him doing the go to sleep pose with the open hands. You could have him doing, it's the clobbering time pose. You get 2 different sets of legs, so you can go with the kind of gold and black star look with the same kickers to match. You can go with the camo kind of tribute to the Straight Edge Society with the stars and the black kickers. Just so many different display options. He does come with a cloth soft goods shirt and hoodie. Unfortunately, they stain the figure, so I obviously will not be using that for my collection, but they are great if you want to throw them on there for some figure photography. I did go ahead and plus them up with the Ringside Collectibles exclusive First Dance CM Punk shirt. You also do get the AEW Championship belt. Just so much comes with this figure. It's just really fun. Like I've said before, it's just you can have so many different display options, figure photography. You can do a whole match and just swap these interchangeable heads to have different expressions. Without a doubt, one of the best figures released this year. We have finally made it all the way up to our number 1 figure of the year. Behind these pieces of cardboard lies my top wrestling action figure for 2023. So without further ado, let's reveal that choice. And it is the Target Legends Ultimate Edition Rock figure. I feel like this figure hit everything on all cylinders, everything you'd absolutely want for your Rock collection here. It comes with 3 interchangeable heads. You get the tracksuit for the first time in the Mattel line. You get the sunglasses, you get the microphone, you get all the different hand gesturing options. And mind you, this was a very hard figure to come by. It was released originally as an Amazon exclusive, was really expensive on the secondary market, and Mattel went ahead and plussed it up. They added the butterfly joints. You get a different variation on the trunk, so you get the blue Rock logo on the front versus the red. The skin tone was updated to really match the Rock as more of an accurate look. And look at these head sculpts. You have him doing that screaming kind of open mouth look where you can have him hitting a submission pose, being held in a submission, screaming, "Oh, finally the Rock has come back," right? Like, there's just so many different options. You got one with the eyebrow up, you got the smiling scan. I just love absolutely everything about this figure. It's just so much fun, right? I feel like that's ultimately what these figures are supposed to be out. They're supposed to bring us fun and joy to this collecting hobby, and I think this figure is the top figure of the year. Agree, disagree? Let me know down in the comments below what you think your top figure of the year is. Do you agree that this is the number 1 figure released by any wrestling action figure company of the year? So there you have it, my personal top 10 wrestling action figures of 2023. Obviously, you guys are going to have differences of opinions. I 100% respect that. This was just my personal preference of the figures that I've enjoyed the most this year and collecting. As you can see, I bought multiples of each for my collection. I really want to hear your guys' opinions. Which figures would you have taken out from my list? what would you have added? Are there any of my honorable mentions that you would have brought up? Are there any figures that I completely did not list anywhere in this video review would you have added? So I'd love to hear all of your feedback. I can just say this, that it has been a great year of collecting, especially in the wrestling figure realm in 2023. Gotten so many great first time in the line figures, some really highly anticipated figures, and ones that we've wanted for quite some time. 2024 is looking like another great year, so cannot wait to continue on this collecting journey with you guys. I really do appreciate all you guys' support. Follow me on Instagram, here on YouTube, watching my video reviews. It really does mean a lot, and I hope to bring you more great content in the next following year as well. So thank you again all for your continued support. I really do appreciate it. I will catch you all on the next video review. Have a happy holidays and Happy New Year.